Desert Wreath Creations. I'd like to thank you for joining me this afternoon. We're going to do a budget-friendly Halloween wreath that the whole family can participate in. Perfect for the kids that are still home and not going to school. So what we're going to do tonight is I've got a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I have put 18 ties on it. I have put 8 in the center. I have put 10 on the outside. I have a little scary ghost here. Got yellow teeth that we're going to be putting on the frame. This was a blank, and my husband painted it. We're also going to be doing some colorful deco tubing. I've got some small, similar to Christmas tree balls, but these are for Halloween. I've got them in black and the purple and in the orange. Also, we're going to have some bats flying around our ghost. So I have some purple bats and I have some black bats that are highly glittered. And I can tell you that from just opening the package. So let's get started. We're going to start with the black mesh, and we're just going to do the inside to start out with. I've spaced my ties on this 14-inch wreath form to about 4.5 inches apart. You can tell that I've already used this piece of mesh and where I cut it off, so I'm just going to even up the edge on it. It'll make it easier to start off with. Let me get that out of the way. We're going to push under about 2 inches and just ruffle it all the way across, leaving about 2 inches to pull on the other side. Even it out the best you can. Then bring your wreath form over, and right before this tie right here, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to take a zip tie, and I'm going to go right down here, and I'm going to tie it right before that tie. This will make sure that it doesn't, you don't have to see all the frays on the end. I'm going to clip that off. And I'm also going to trim up the edge. We're going to go ahead tonight and we're going to do a 10-inch poof on both the inside and outside. So what I did is I had it on a 10 and I just went up to a 20. We're going to tie it down real secure. So I'm going to twist it a good 2 times. And I'm going to pull out my poof. Hi, Bev. Okay. We're going to do this again to the 20. Pull it back. All the supplies I've done tonight, like I said, this is a budget friendly for a family, especially if you're homeschooling your children, or if you just like to do crafts. My daughter's kid, she's got a big crafting box, and when it's raining and stuff like that out, they get out the crafts. My granddaughter loves it. So most of the supplies here today, where you can probably pick up at the Dollar Tree. We're using the 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. The pipe cleaners you could get at the Dollar Tree. Matter of fact, this 21-inch mesh I was lucky enough to find at the Dollar Tree. Not in mine, out of town. I have a white 21-inch mesh we're going to be using. I got that at, I believe, Craft Outlet. I ordered it online because I order a lot of things online. And The decorations and sign that was painted all came from the Dollar Tree. So this would be a fun craft to do with the family. You could even take it down, and instead of doing it on a 14-inch frame, you could do it on, say, one of the 8-inch Dollar Tree frames, which you get 2 in a package for $1. And you could also purchase the Dollar Tree mesh that is like 5.5, 6 inches wide, and make one in the similar fashion as to what I'm doing. There's a lot of things that you could do that would be family friendly. So we're just poofing it on out. Like I said, we're going to go around the bottom row with white mesh. This is an excellent way to use 2 meshes if you're making other projects that you can use 2 different colors. And if you've got part rows of those colors, you could use them up, because basically it's a base. So we're back around to where we started. Let me find my witch tie. There it goes. It was hiding. There it is. Still wanted to hide. Okay. Since we're not going to be using the black anymore, we're going to go ahead and we're going to trim it off. I'm going to take another zip tie, excuse me. I'm going to run it, pull my mesh to the inside. And I'm going to tie it down. Pull it real tight. Going to trim this off. And cut the tie. Okay, so let's get all the black fray out of the way. Now I'm going to change out my mesh for white. Okay, same process to about 2 inches. Push it down, go all the way across to gather it up. Okay, we're going to come out to the outside and we're going to go right before a tie. And I'm going to take another zip tie and I'm going to tie it down. Pull it really tight. I'm going to cut off the excess, toss it, cut off my zip tie, and we're going to do the same process around the bottom. I'm not going to go directly in front of that first tie, even though I'm going to open it up I need to open all these up or I'll lose them. There we go. Go to the 10, come out to the 20. We're not going in the first one, we're going into the second tie. Tie it down. And twist. I'm going to pull out my poof. And it's going to blend both worlds, the black and the white. Pull that one out. Again, from the 10 to the 20, go in your next tie. Keep losing my pot cleaners on the white ones. I can't see them. Push it down and twist it a couple of good times. And pull out your ruffle, or your poof, I should say. There we go. Repeat till we get all the way around. But I think it's going to be very creative. Ten to the 20. This would look really gorgeous besides just a Halloween wreath to do like a monochromatic. Even a monochromatic Christmas wreath. Or you could either use like black mesh all the way around and come back with some white ruffles. Would be really neat. Okay, 10 to the 20. A couple of more. I'm going to say we have 18 ties on a 14-inch frame, 8 in the center, 10 on the outside, and we're using 2 different colors of mesh, as you can tell. We're at the end now, so I'm going to go back in the tie that I bypassed, that I had tied it down right before it. I'm going to tie it down real tight. Pull our poof out. Go back and pull that one out some more. There we go. We're going to take this end. We're going to cut it off like we did the one prior. We can scoop that out of our way. We're going to take another zip tie. And this time I'm going to pull it around to the back on the bottom. You know what? I think I'll go ahead and push it through to the rail. I don't like that thickness on the outside of the rim. There we go. Cover it up with our poofs. Flip it over. Then we can tie it down. Just going to pull real snug. Cut the tie off. Cut the mesh off, and that leaves a really nice back, clean looking back. The one thing I didn't mention is when you put a zip tie and you tie it off to the back, turn it around to the inside. That way it won't scratch anyone's door when they hang it on their door. Okay. Nice and a little fluffy. Some of these are creeping out. That's all right. We will fix them. All right. So what I've done is I've taken Deco tubing. I took a strand of purple, the orange, and the black. I cut them to basically about 25, 26 inches long. I brought the ends up together and I folded them over and folded them over again. I went ahead and made bundles so you wouldn't have to sit here and go through all that with me. We're going to put a bundle in each tie, just to bring out a little bit of extra color, and I'm going to tie them down. So as I'm doing this, then after I get it tied down real tight, I'm just going to come back and I'm just going to sort of pull all those little loops apart and stuff so they'll just dangle there. Then before I cut my ties off, I'm going to take this little ornament here I found, and what I did is I took the little plastic top off of it and I glued it and I put it back on so it wouldn't fall off. So I'm going to slip it through one of the ties, okay? Then I'm going to twist the ties just to make sure it stays on. Then I'm going to cut it off, and where that is I'm just going to turn it under, and basically it's going to stand up like that. And then your white tie won't show even on the black. So we're going to go around the inside first. We'll just keep moving around it, and we'll alternate the colors of the balls we put on it. So let's do a black one. Again, we're just going to twist tie it. And then we're going to turn that under, and that helps that to stand up. And now we're going to spread our little deals out, our little deco tubing. Another bundle. When I bundled these, what I did is instead of taking zip ties or anything like that, I used those little plastic hair bands that you can find at the Dollar Tree or at Walmart. And then we're going to do the orange one, and I went ahead and pre-bundled them. Clip it off. And then we're going to spread our stuff out. And I think that's looking really cute. Looks like Halloween. This will not be a huge wreath. It's going to be just a simple wreath. Everything on it is weather resistant. It could be hung outside. It could be hung on a kid's door. Getting ready for all the little ghosts and goblins that come trick-or-treating. We're going to spread out our deco tubing. Yeah, I like using the tubing. Just adds a little extra layering to stuff. Just make sure you tie them down tight, because like I said, while what's holding them together is a little clear hair tie, ponytail tie. There we go. So there we go. Okay. So another one. Okay. So now we've got the inside done. Gave it a little color, a little contrast. So now we're going to go to the outside. This will make that outside pop a little bit more. Let's see. Let's do it sideways. Same process. Bend it over and then spread your mesh, your deco tubing out. And deco tubing has a mind of its own sometimes. There. And you oops. That poof curled back in on itself. Go. Just a few more balls. Ornaments, I should say. Between deco tubing and ornaments, I've got a either way, we're going to have two next to each other. And let's put this one in. I guess I got out one too many ornaments. Turn that under and spread our deco tubing out. Okay, so far, that's what we're looking at. I think it's adorable. So we have a ghost sign, and my husband thought it would be neat to give him yellow tea. So what I've done is I put on the hangers, pipe cleaners, and I stapled and glued them. And we're going to put a Casper right there in the middle. So I'm going to go straight down, right there on his little head. All right, you know, this is Casperette. Let's give her a girl's name. It's going to flip her. Now I'll wrap it around several times. Leave it there for a minute. Now I've got two ties here on the bottom. I'll sink them both in there so I can find them. And I'll go right in between the poofs. And I'll do the same thing. Excuse me. There we go. And I'll just clip them off in a minute. And there's Casper. I did make Casperette a bow for her hair out of deco tubing. So I'm going to put a little glue on it. And I come up here where that pipe cleaner's at, and I'm going to hold it for a minute till it sets. There we go. I'm just putting some glue around the top of this. Now, these are clip-on bats. Now I've got some black ones. This one I want up here on the tubing. Let's do another one right there. Yeah, I like that. They can seem like they're flying. Now, let's put a black one up here by their arm. I mean a purple one. It's a little too heavy for that piece. Let's go in a little tighter. There we go. I like that. Yeah, let's do a purple one over here. Lower. Let's have another one attacking it from that angle. Okay, guys, that should be it.